This is a tutorial and a demonstration and tips for accomplishing the nomination of advisory committee for PhDs. So this is required for all new regular PhD and those continuing PhDs who have not complied with this graduate school requirement. So to accomplish the nomination of advisory committee for PhD, open your favorite web browser and go to the graduate school website. It's uplbgraduateschool.org, and then just click any menu item except for the home. So I'm gonna click here in programs, and it's here in the e-forms or the electronic forms. Just select what form you need to generate. So this is a tutorial for the nomination of advisory committee for PhD, and just click generate. If you cancel, it will go to the UP privacy notice. If you haven't read this before, then it's a good time to read this. To go to the form, so just generate and then click OK. Here is now the electronic form generator for the nomination of advisory committee for PhD. So take note of this. This is a dynamic form. Please fill up completely from left to right, top to bottom, without skipping. Okay, so this is dynamic. This will change depending on your input. So it's important to do it left to right, top to bottom, and not skipping anything. So okay, so I will demonstrate. I'll just input some dummy data so that you could see. So student number, and then your surname or your family name, and then your first name, and then your middle name. It's okay if you don't have a middle name, so some international students don't have a middle name, but for Filipino students, please fill this up completely. If you don't have a middle name, then you can skip. And then for the degree sought, there are 4 types of PhDs. There is a PhD regular, and then by research, straight PhD, and dual PhD by research. So I will demonstrate the regular PhD since most students are regular PhDs. So if you are a regular PhD student, just select PhD and then select your major, your program. So for example, I will just put environmental science and select your cognate. So for example, economics. So the second cognate is optional. The consequence of having a second cognate is that you will nominate a committee for that to represent that cognate, and also you will take 6 units of courses belonging to that cognate. So for example, if you have animal science as your second cognate, then you will take 6 units of courses from animal science, and then you will take 6 units from economics, and you will take at least 12 courses from environmental science. If you have just one cognate, then you will take 9 units under your cognate, and then at least 15 units in your major. So those units excludes the dissertation, because all PhD programs have an additional 12 units of dissertation plus a seminar. So let's continue. SEM admitted in the current program, it's first this semester is the first SEM, and the 2020-21. If you are a continuing student, then input the right semester of your admission or your starting semester. So degrees completed. And then next is the contact details. So input your UP mail. If you don't have a UP mail yet, input any email here, but it's important that you have a UP mail. Most systems requires a UP mail. So let me just put dummy data. And then your mobile number for EC, so that we could easily contact you if there are concerns regarding your nomination. And then check the requirement self-check here. So the status of your admission should be regular, or if you are a continuing student, your probationary status have already been converted to regular. So the nomination of advisory is for regular students only. And then proceed to the nomination of advisory proper. So chair, so input the name of the chairperson. So if you notice, what you put in your major will already show up here, and it is already locked. You cannot change it. For the second item, for the second member, you could choose whether he or she will be your co-chair or a member. So the consequence of nominating a co-chair is that that person should have the right appointment to the graduate school, since a co-chair has elevated appointment. It's the same as the chair. They have different qualifications than the member. So usually students don't have a co-chair, but it depends on your committee and what you want it to do, to have a co-chair or not. It's up to your committee and you to decide. So just put the names of your nominated committee. And here, if you can observe, environmental sciences economics is showing up here because it's the one that you put here above. So this is the usual. Most PhDs have four members, including the chair, and then one representing the cognate. You could also have two representing the cognate. That's okay, but you cannot have more than the representatives of your major. That's why this is already locked. The fifth member is optional, so the graduate school always advises students to keep your committee to the minimum, because having a fifth member, it's quite hard to schedule. The more committee members, the harder it to find a common schedule, and also they will have more comments to incorporate in your studies. So keep it to the minimum if you can, but of course it is always optional to have a fifth. It will depend on your committee and you. And then just read this one, but instead of signatures, we now require electronic signatures, and instead of doing it personally, and you can just email it to the signatories. Then just click this and then generate the form. And there you have your form. So just sign here and then email it one by one to the nominated persons, and then after they have signed, email it to the unit head. It could be the department chair, institute director, program management committee chair for interdisciplinary programs, or the dean, like in SESAM and development communication, the dean signs. And then email it to the graduate school receiving if only the signature of the college secretary and the dean is missing. So we will take care of this one. So the process is we will check the appointments of the nominated persons, and if it's in order, we will approve it. So that is the role of the graduate school in this form. Frequently asked questions. What if you want to change? You can just go back to the electronic form and change it. So if you want to change, it's okay. And then generate the form again. So there you have it, it's changed. So it's okay that for you to generate, unlimited forms. Anyway, it's not official unless it's submitted to the graduate school. Also, this form doesn't have a database. So if you're worried that this is capturing data, no, it's not. It's not capturing data. It's just generating this form for us to easily check. Okay, so that's it for the nomination of advisory committee for PhD.